Rejected mate saved a dying wolf, not knowing he was the Lycan king. They called her weak. They cast her out to die. But the wolf she saved with her last breath was the most feared king alive. And when he opened his eyes, he chose her. Before we begin, subscribe now. This is a story of rejection. Chapter 1. The Rejection. Rain tapped softly against the tall glass windows of the Silver Pines pack house. Inside, everything looked perfect. Polished floors, warm lights, order, power. But Sadie Jenkins stood near the back wall, feeling like she didn't belong in any of it. Her hands moved quickly as she wiped down the edge of a long wooden table. Clean, neat, invisible work. That was her life. Always close enough to see everything, but never close enough to be part of it. Voices filled the hall. Laughter, conversations, authority. Pack members moved freely. Warriors, betas, high-ranking wolves. They walked with confidence, with purpose, with identity. Sadie kept her head low. That was how she survived. Blend in. Stay quiet. Do your job. Do not draw attention. Because attention always led to one thing. Reminder. A reminder of what she was not. Her fingers slowed slightly. Just for a second. Because she felt it again. That pull. That strange warmth in her chest. It had been there for 3 days now. Soft at first. Barely noticeable. But growing stronger. Clearer. Impossible to ignore. She swallowed. Her eyes lifted slowly. Across the hall, he stood there. Derek Hayes. Alpha of Silver Pines. Tall. Sharp. Untouchable. Even from a distance, his presence filled the room. People made space without thinking. They lowered their voices when he passed. They respected him, feared him, followed him. Sadie's heart beat faster. Not from fear. From something else. Something she had never felt before. Hope. Because 3 nights ago, everything changed. Flashback, it had been late. The pack house quiet. Sadie had stayed behind to clean as usual. And the others had gone. Laughing. Talking. Living lives she wasn't part of. She didn't mind. She told herself she didn't. Because this was normal. This was her place. Until the front doors opened. She looked up and saw him. Derek. He stepped inside, rain trailing behind him. His eyes scanned the room, then stopped on her. For a second, everything went still. Then it hit. Hard. A pull so strong it stole her breath. Her chest tightened. Her heart skipped, then raced. She dropped the cloth in her hand. What? Is this? Her voice barely came out. Derek didn't speak, but his expression changed. Just slightly. Like he felt it too. Because he did. The bond. It snapped into place in that moment, clear. Undeniable. Faded. Sadie's entire world shifted. This was it. This was why she waited. Why she endured everything. Why she never gave up. Is because this moment I saw was meant for her. Her mate. Her future. Her beginning. Back to present. Sadie's breath came out slowly, but something felt off. That same bond, that same warmth, now felt unstable, like something was wrong. Her fingers tightened slightly against the table. Across the room, Derek stood with Vanessa. Close, too close. Her hand rested on his arm. Familiar, claiming. Sadie felt it, that small crack in her chest. She pushed it down. No, this was temporary. This had to be temporary. The bond was real. It meant something. It had to. A voice echoed through the hall. Sadie. She froze. Slowly. She turned. Derek stood at the center now, looking directly at her. The entire room quieted. Eyes shifted. Attention moved. All of it. Landing on her. Her heart started racing again. But this time, it wasn't hope. It was fear. Come here. His voice was calm, cold, commanding. She hesitated. just for a second, then stepped forward. Each step felt heavier. The room felt bigger, louder, even in silence. She could feel it. The stares, the judgment, the curiosity. Why her? What was this? She stopped a few feet in front of him, her hands clenched slightly, her breathing uneven. Alpha. Her voice was soft, respectful, small. Derek looked at her. No warmth, no recognition, nothing. And that was the first sign. Something was wrong, very wrong. Then he spoke. I reject you. Everything stopped. The world didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't exist. Sadie blinked. Once, twice, like she didn't hear him right. What? The word slipped out. Weak. Broken. Then, pain hit. Not slow. Not building. Instant. Violent. Her body folded. Her knees slammed into the floor. A sharp sound echoed, but she barely heard it, because inside her, something shattered. The bond snapped, tore apart, ripped out of her chest like it was never meant to exist. She gasped. Air wouldn't come. Her hands clutched her chest, trying to hold something that was already gone. No, please. Her voice cracked. Barely there. Derek didn't move, didn't hesitate. You are unshifted. Each word came clean, precise, cold. You are weak. The room stayed silent, watching. You are nothing I need. Vanessa stepped closer, her lips curved slightly. Satisfied. I will not take you as my Luna. Sadie shook her head. Tears blurred her vision. This is a mistake. But Derek cut her off. No. One word. Final. I gave you time. His voice didn't change. No anger, no emotion, just judgment. You failed. The word echoed. Failed. Her chest tightened again. But this time, there was nothing to break. Because it was already gone. By pack law, Derek continued, you are no longer welcome here. Her breath stopped. You have 1 hour to leave. Silence deepened. If you remain, a pause. Then, you will be hunted. The meaning hit harder than the pain. This wasn't rejection. This was execution. Sadie looked around. Slowly, desperately. Faces she knew, people she grew up with. No one moved. No one spoke. No one helped. And in that moment, she understood something clearly. She had never belonged here. Not once. A broken sound left her throat. But she forced herself up. Her body shook. Her legs weak. Her chest empty. She didn't look at Derek again. There was nothing left there. She turned and walked. Past the people. Past the whispers. It passed the life she thought she had. No one stopped her. No one called her name. The doors stood ahead. Large, heavy, final. She reached them, paused. Just for a second, not to hope, but to accept. Then she pushed them open. Rain crashed into her instantly, cold, violent, real. She stepped into it and kept walking, because behind her, there was nothing left. Chapter 2. The Fall. Rain swallowed her the moment she stepped outside. It hit her skin hard, cold, heavy, endless. Within seconds, she was soaked. Her dress clung to her body. Her hair stuck to her face. But she didn't stop. She didn't look back. Because there was nothing behind her worth seeing. Only rejection. Only silence. Only a place that erased her like she never existed. Sadie walked down the stone steps slowly. Each step felt heavier than the last. Her legs trembled. Not just from the cold, from the emptiness spreading inside her. The bond was gone, completely. Where there had once been warmth, there was nothing. No connection. No pull. No life. Just a hollow space that hurt every time she breathed. She pressed her hand against her chest again. Instinct. Desperate. Like she could fix something. But there was nothing to fix. It was already gone. A sharp breath escaped her lips. Lost in the storm, she stepped off the last stair, into the open, into the dark, and began to walk. The forest didn't welcome her. It didn't care. Tall trees loomed overhead, their branches swayed with the wind. Shadows moved with every flash of lightning. The path disappeared behind her quickly, swallowed by rain, by mud, by distance. Sadie didn't know where she was going. There was no plan, no destination, only movement. Forward, away. That was all that mattered. Her feet slipped against the wet ground. More than once she nearly fell. Her body reacted slower than it should, weaker, like something essential had been taken from her. And it had. Her breathing grew uneven. Each inhale felt tight. Each exhale felt incomplete. She tried to steady it, tried to control it, but her body didn't listen. It was failing. Slowly, quietly, exactly the way rejected mates were said to go. Her thoughts drifted. Not clearly, not fully, but enough. Memories surfaced, unwanted, uncontrolled. Flashback, she was younger, standing outside the training grounds, watching the others, pups her age, laughing, fighting, learning to shift. Their wolves came easily, naturally, like it was part of breathing. Sadie stood at the edge, hands clasped tightly, waiting, hoping. Her turn would come. It never did. Days passed, then weeks, then years. Nothing changed. The whispers started early. She's late. She's weak. She might not shift at all. Sadie heard every word, even when they thought she didn't. She smiled anyway, pretended it didn't matter. Because what else could she do? Back to present, her foot caught on a root. Her body lurched forward. She barely caught herself. Her hand slammed against a tree trunk. Rough bark scraped her skin. She held onto it, breathing hard, trying to stay upright. I can't. Her voice came out weak, almost gone. The storm answered, loud, uncaring. She pushed herself off the tree, forced another step, then another. Her legs felt heavier now, like they were no longer hers. Each movement took effort, too much effort. Her chest tightened again, sharper this time. She gasped. Air refused to come fully. Her vision flickered. Dark spots formed at the edges. She blinked, tried to focus, tried to stay present, but her body was slipping, breaking down piece by piece. This was how it ended. Not quickly, not clean, slow, painful, alone. A bitter thought crossed her mind. This is what he wanted. She pushed it away. No, she wouldn't think about him. Not now. Not anymore. She took another step. Then, her foot slipped. This time, she didn't catch herself. Her body hit the ground hard. Mud splashed around her. Cold soaked deeper into her skin. She didn't move, didn't try to get up. For a moment, she couldn't. Her body refused. Her arms felt heavy. Her legs felt gone. Even her chest barely rose. Rain poured over her. Unstoppable, relentless. Her cheek pressed into the cold earth. She closed her eyes. Just for a second. Just to rest. Her breathing slowed. Shallow. Fading. This was it. The thought came clearly this time. No fight. No resistance. Just truth. She was dying, and part of her was tired enough to accept it. No more whispers. No more judgment. No more trying to prove something she was never allowed to be. Just silence. Her body relaxed slightly. The tension left her muscles. The pain dulled. Her mind drifted. Then, something cut through it. A scent. Faint. Sharp. Different. Her nose twitched slightly. Her eyes opened. Slow. Heavy. The scent hit again. Stronger now. Metallic. Thick. Blood. Her body didn't react at first, but something deeper did. Something instinctive. Something she had never been able to ignore. Pain. someone else's pain. Her fingers pressed weakly into the mud. Her body screamed to stay still, to let go, to rest. But her mind pushed back. No, not yet. Her breathing hitched. She forced her arms to move. They trembled under her weight, barely holding. But enough. She lifted herself slightly, then dragged forward, inch by inch. The scent grew stronger, closer, calling her, pulling her. Her body weakened with every movement, her vision blurred again. But she didn't stop. Couldn't stop. Because somewhere ahead, something was hurting. Something was dying. Just like her. And for some reason, that mattered more. She reached a cluster of low bushes, pushed through them weakly. Branches scratched her arms, but she barely felt it. The trees began to thin. The rain opened up above her. A clearing. She paused at the edge, her body shaking, her breath barely there. Something felt wrong. Not just danger, something deeper, heavier. She lifted her head, slowly, and looked ahead. What she saw made her forget her own pain, because death was everywhere, and at the center of it, something still fought to live. Chapter 3. The Sacrifice. The clearing felt wrong, too quiet, too still. The rain still fell, but the air itself felt heavy, like something violent had just happened, and the forest hadn't recovered yet. Sadie's breath came out slow and uneven as she stared ahead. Bodies. Everywhere. Twisted across the ground, limbs bent at unnatural angles, claw marks carved deep into flesh. Blood pooled into the mud, mixing with rainwater. Rogues. She knew the scent instantly. Wild, unstable, dangerous. But now, they were nothing. Completely still, completely silent. Sadie swallowed hard. Her chest tightened. Not from fear, from what this meant. Whatever did this was still here. Her eyes moved slowly across the clearing, searching, careful, until they found him. At the center, the wolf. Her breath caught. He was massive, larger than any wolf she had ever seen. Even lying there, he didn't look weak. He looked dangerous. His fur was black, deep, endless, like he carried the night within him. But now, that darkness was broken. Blood covered his body, thick, dark, still steaming in the cold rain. Silver weapons pierced through his flesh. Darts, blades, each one buried deep, each one poisoning him, stopping his body from healing, killing him slowly. Sadie stared, frozen. Her instincts screamed at her, leave, now. This is not your fight. This is not your place. You will die if you stay. But her body didn't move, because beneath the danger, beneath the power, she saw it. Pain. Real. Raw. Unrelenting pain. The wolf's chest rose, barely, then fell again. Weak. Uneven. He wasn't just injured, he was dying. Sadie took a slow step forward. Her foot sank slightly into the mud. The sound felt too loud, too sharp. The wolf's eyes snapped open, gold, bright, alive. Even through the pain, they were sharp, focused, watching her. A low growl rumbled from his throat, weak, but still dangerous, still warning. Stay back. Sadie froze. Her heart pounded. Her body trembled. But she didn't run. She couldn't. I'm not here to hurt you. Her voice cracked, barely steady. The wolf's gaze didn't soften, but it didn't attack. He watched her. Measured. Careful. Sadie took another step, then another. Each one slow, deliberate, her breathing uneven, her body still failing. I can't leave you like this. The words came out before she could stop them. Honest. Instinctive. She reached him, close enough to feel his breath. Hot. Weak. Fading. Up close. He felt even larger, even more overwhelming. One wrong move, and he could still end her. But he didn't. Sadie knelt slowly beside him. Her legs nearly gave out again, but she held herself upright, barely. Her hand lifted, shaking, hesitating, because this was the moment, the point where everything changed. If she touched him, there was no turning back. Her body was already failing. She didn't have enough strength to save herself. So saving him meant one thing. She wouldn't survive it. Her fingers hovered above his fur. Her breath slowed. If I'm going to die, her voice trembled, then I'd choose how. And then, she touched him. The moment her skin met his fur, something ignited, a spark. Sharp, immediate. It moved through her like energy. Not the mate bond. That was gone, broken, dead. This was something else, something deeper, something older. The wolf flinched slightly. A low sound escaped him, but he didn't pull away. Instead, he leaned into her touch, just slightly. Sadie's breath caught. Her eyes moved to his wounds. The silver burned deep. Dark veins spread from the poison. His body was losing. Fast. She knew what had to be done, but knowing and doing were not the same. Her hands moved to his side, hovering above the largest wound. Blood seeped steadily, hot against the cold rain. She closed her eyes, not to escape, to focus, to reach inward, past the pain, past the fear, past the emptiness left by the bond, deeper, into something she had hidden her entire life. At first, there was nothing. Then, a warmth, faint, small, but real. She held onto it, pulled at it, and it answered, growing, spreading, filling her from within, light, pure, alive, her power, the one thing no one valued, the one thing they called useless. Now, it was everything. Her hands pressed firmly against his wound. Take it. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Then, light burst from her palms. Bright, blinding. The clearing lit up instantly. The rain seemed to pause around her. The wolf's body jerked. A sharp cry tore from him. The silver reacted. Slow at first, then forced out, pulled from his flesh, clattering onto the ground. The poison followed. Dark veins burned away, retreated, destroyed by the light. His body began to heal, muscle pulling together, flesh sealing, life returning. Fast, powerful. Sadie gasped. Her body shook violently. The energy poured out of her in waves, too fast, too much. Her chest tightened. Her breath became shallow. Her vision flickered. But she didn't stop. She couldn't. Live. Her voice barely existed now. Don't. Waste it. The wolf's heartbeat strengthened beneath her hands. Steady. Strong. Alive again. But Sadie was fading. Her body grew colder. Her strength drained completely. Her fingers trembled. Her arms weakened. Still, she pushed. Because one wound remained. Deep. Fatal. She gathered everything left, every last piece of herself, and forced it out. The light flared one final time. Bright. Final. The wound sealed, completely. The wolf lived. And Sadie collapsed. Her hands slipped from his body. Her head fell to the side. Her chest barely moved. Then, stilled. The light disappeared. The clearing returned to darkness. Rain fell again. Soft. Endless. And Sadie Jenkins. Chapter 4. The Lycan King for a moment. Nothing moved. The rain continued. Soft, steady, unstoppable. The bodies of the rogues lay scattered. The forest held its breath. And at the center of it all, the black wolf lay still. Then, his chest rose. Deep. Controlled. Alive. The change was immediate. Where weakness had taken hold, power returned. His breathing steadied. His muscles tightened beneath dark fur. The wounds that had nearly killed him were gone, sealed, erased. His eyes opened, gold, clear, sharp. No longer clouded by pain, no longer fading, dominant, aware, alive. He didn't move right away, but everything about him changed. The air around him grew heavier, thicker, as if the forest itself recognized what had just happened. Then, he pushed himself up, slow, deliberate. Massive paws pressed into the mud. His body rose to full height, towering, unshaken. The storm didn't touch him. The cold didn't reach him. He stood like something that did not belong to this world, something above it. His gaze moved instantly, locked onto her. Sadie, lying motionless beside him, small, fragile, still. His body stilled. For the first time since he stood, he froze. A low sound built in his chest. Not a growl. Not yet. Something deeper. Something instinctive. He stepped toward her, each movement controlled, measured, but something inside him was not. He lowered his head slightly, close enough to feel her breath. There was none. His eyes narrowed. His body went rigid. Then, his wolf surged. Mate. The word hit with force. Absolute. Undeniable. It echoed through him. Through his mind. Not through his entire being. Mate. This girl. This broken, silent, lifeless girl. Was his. The Lycan king had found his mate. And she was dying. No. The word came low. Controlled. But it carried something dangerous. Something final. His body shifted. Instant. Violent. Bones cracked, fur disappeared, muscle reshaped. In seconds. A man stood where the beast had been. Tall, powerful, built like something made for war. Rain hit his skin and rolled off, like it had no right to touch him. His eyes never left her. He dropped to one knee beside her. For a brief moment, his hand hovered above her, hesitating, uncertain. Not because he feared her, but because he understood something clearly. If she was gone, there was no fixing it. And for the first time in a long time, he did not control the outcome. And then he touched her. Her skin was cold, too cold. His jaw tightened. His hand moved to her neck, searching. Seconds passed. Then, there, a pulse. Faint, weak, barely there, but alive. His eyes darkened instantly. Relief did not come, only urgency. He moved fast, lifting her into his arms. Careful, controlled, but firm. She felt too light, too fragile, like she could disappear at any moment. You don't get to die. His voice was low, but it carried weight. Command, authority, something that did not accept resistance. You gave your life for mine. His grip tightened slightly. Now I take it back. The air shifted around him, pressure built, the kind that forced everything else to respond, to submit. Lights cut through the trees, engines roared, fast, approaching. Black armored vehicles pushed through the forest, branches snapped, mud splashed, doors opened before they even stopped moving. Men stepped out, fast, precise, armed, elite guards. Their eyes scanned the clearing, weapons raised, ready. Then, they saw him, and everything stopped. Shock hit instantly, because they knew what they were looking at. Their king was standing, alive, not just alive, healed, impossible. No one spoke, no one moved, until, Your Majesty. Silence. The word cut through everything. Sharp. Final. No one spoke again. His eyes burned with command, unquestionable, unchallenged. He stepped forward, still holding her. She lives. Not a request, not a question, an order. A man rushed forward. Doctor, already moving, already assessing. His hands hovered over her, checking, measuring. His expression shifted quickly, tightened. Her condition is critical. The Lycan King stepped closer. The air grew heavier, darker. If she dies? His voice dropped, quiet, controlled, deadly. None of you leave this forest. Silence. No one doubted him. No one tested him. Because they knew. He meant it. The doctor swallowed. We need to move now. Then move. The command came instantly. Everything snapped into action. Doors opened. Space cleared. Equipment prepared. The Lycan King entered the vehicle, still holding her, still refusing to let go. She lay against his chest, cold, still, fading. His hand moved to her face, brushed wet strands of hair away. Careful, controlled, like she was something breakable. Stay. One word. Heavy. Absolute. Stay with me. The vehicle surged forward, cutting through the forest. Speed, purpose. Inside, silence held. The doctor worked quickly. Machines activated, supplies opened. But none of it mattered to him. Only her. His mate. His gaze never left her face. Watching. Waiting. Measuring every breath. Every movement. Every second. Then something shifted inside him. Not fear. Not doubt. Something darker. Something rising. Rage. Whoever did this, whoever pushed her to this point, would not survive it. Not quickly. Not easily. But completely. Because the Lycan King had found his mate. And she had been left to die. That was not something the world would walk away from. Chapter 5. The Rise. Time lost meaning inside the compound. Days passed. Then more. Morning came and went. Night followed. Again and again. But inside that room, nothing changed. Sadie lay still, unmoving, quiet. Machines surrounded her. Soft sounds filled the space, steady, repeating. The only proof she was still alive. Barely. Her skin had color again, faint, but present. Her breathing steadied, slow, controlled. But she did not wake. Not yet. Because her body was healing, but her soul was still fighting. The first night was the worst. The doctors worked non-stop. Voices low, tense, careful. She lost too much energy. The bond damage is severe. She should not be alive. Words whispered behind closed doors, but he heard all of it. Every word, every doubt. And he ignored it, because none of it mattered. Only one thing did. She was still breathing. And that meant the fight wasn't over. The Lycan King did not leave her side. Not once. Not for food. Not for rest. Not for anything. He sat beside her, still, silent, watching. His hand wrapped around hers, careful, steady, like letting go would break something, or lose something, or end something. And he did not accept that. Not now. Not ever. Day 2. Her heartbeat weakened, just slightly, barely noticeable, but he felt it. The bond between them pulsed, reacted. His body tensed instantly. The room shifted. Pressure filled the air. The machines reacted. The doctors rushed. Stabilize her. Now. Hands moved faster, voices sharper, but before anything else could happen, it changed. Her heartbeat steadied again. Slow, strong, back where it needed to be. The room went quiet, confused, relieved. But he understood. It wasn't them. It was the bond. Holding her there, refusing to let her go. Day 3. The doctor stood at the foot of the bed. Careful, measured. She's not waking because of the trauma. His voice stayed calm, but his eyes said something else. Concern. The rejection didn't just hurt her body. He paused. It shattered her internally. The Lycan King didn't respond. He didn't need to, because he already knew. He could feel it, even without words. The emptiness inside her, the damage, the silence. It wasn't physical. It was deeper. And it made something inside him tighten, darken, shift. Day 4. Nothing changed. Not outwardly, but inside. Something began to move. Small, subtle, but real. Her fingers twitched. Just once. Barely there. But he saw it. His body stilled instantly, his eyes locked onto her hand. Waiting. Watching. Then, again. A small movement. Real. Alive. Wake up. His voice dropped low. Controlled. But something broke through it. Something raw. You don't get to stay like this. Silence. Then, her breath shifted. Deeper. Stronger. Her chest rose. Fell. Steady. Her eyes fluttered. Slow. Heavy. Fighting. Then finally, they opened. The world came back slowly. Blurry. Unfamiliar. Too bright. Sadie blinked. Her mind struggled to catch up. Her body felt heavy. Weak. Like it didn't belong to her. Her gaze moved. Ceiling. Walls. Light. Then, him. She froze. Her breath caught. Fear flickered instantly. The wolf. Her voice was barely sound. Dry. Broken. But it reached him. He leaned closer. Slow. Careful. You saved him. A pause. Letting the truth settle. I am that wolf. Her eyes widened. Memory hit all at once. Rain. Pain. Blood. Light. Everything rushed back. You. Her voice shook. He didn't look away. I am the Lycan king. Silence filled the room. Heavy. Real. And she stared at him, trying to understand, trying to believe. Then, her body pulled back slightly. Instinct. Fear. I'm nothing. The words came out fast. Automatic. I don't even have a wolf. Her voice cracked. I was rejected. Pain slipped through again. Still there. Still alive. I was thrown away. His eyes darkened instantly. Something dangerous moved beneath the surface. But when he spoke, his voice was steady. Low. Controlled. No. One word. Strong. Final. He took her hand again. Warmth spread instantly. Not force. Not pressure. Something grounding. Something real. You gave your life to save mine. His gaze locked onto hers. Unbreakable. That is not weakness. Her breathing slowed. The tightness in her chest shifted. Not gone, but no longer crushing. That is power. Something inside her responded. Soft at first, then growing. Warm. Familiar. The same feeling from the forest, but different now. It wasn't leaving her. It was building. Her fingers tightened slightly. She felt it. Energy. Alive. Moving through her. Her eyes widened. I feel something. His expression sharpened. Don't fight it. Her breath deepened. The warmth spread through her chest, down her arms, into her hands. Light flickered faintly. Soft. Golden. Alive. The room changed. The air shifted. Even the machines reacted. Then, the door opened. A guard stepped in. Wounded. Blood soaked through his side, his breathing uneven. Your Majesty. He stopped. Mid-step. Because the moment he got closer, the light around Sadie reacted. It flared, soft, but clear. The guard froze. His body tensed. Then, his wound began to close. Slow, but real. The bleeding stopped. The torn flesh pulled together. He stared down at himself. Shock filled his face. I can feel it. Sadie pulled her hand back, startled. The light faded slightly. Her breath quickened. I didn't mean to. You did exactly what you were meant to do. The Lycan King's voice cut in. Calm. Certain. He looked at the guard. Leave. The guard didn't hesitate. He bowed, then exited quickly. Silence returned. Sadie looked at her hands, still trembling, still glowing faintly. This isn't normal. No. He stepped closer. His presence filled the space around her. It isn't. Her eyes lifted slowly, meeting his. What am I? This time, the question wasn't fear. It was truth. He didn't hesitate. You are something they could not understand. A step closer. You are power they could not control. Another. You are the reason I am alive. He reached out, lifted her chin gently. So you are not nothing. His voice dropped. You are everything they lost. The words settled deep, and this time, she didn't reject them, because now, she felt it. She saw it. She knew it. For the first time in her life, she wasn't weak. She wasn't broken. She wasn't unwanted. She was something more, something rare, something powerful. The bond between them pulsed. Stronger now. Clear. Alive. He stepped closer. Close enough that nothing stood between them. You saved a king. A pause. Then, and I do not forget debts. Her heart beat faster. Not from fear. From something new. Something rising. From this moment, his voice turned firm, commanding. You are under my protection. Another step. You will not be cast aside. Closer. You will not be spoken down to. His hand wrapped around hers. And no one. His eyes darkened. Child, will ever throw you away again. Silence followed. But it wasn't empty. It was full. Certain. Sadie looked at him. Not as a stranger. Not as something to fear. But as someone who saw her. Clearly. Fully. For the first time. She believed it. Her breathing steadied. Her shoulders relaxed. And slowly, she nodded. Not submission. Acceptance. Outside, the world still believed she was gone. Forgotten. Dead. But that was about to change, because the girl they rejected had awakened. And the next time they saw her, she would not be the same. She was rejected and left to die. But now she has power and the Lycan king. Next, she faces the man who broke her. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. Comment Rise if you know she was never weak.